Well, hello again and welcome to the VK6CS Fun with Amateur Radio channel. Now, I was talking to Al this morning, VK6KIF, on the usual drive time going to work net on VK6RAP, a 2 metre repeater in Perth, and he said, you didn't upload any videos over the weekend, you're not doing anything to your amplifier. And I thought, you know, by jingo, he's right. I'm slacking. I did actually have the weekend off. I didn't do any radio work over the weekend. I didn't touch any amateur radio equipment at all. I was toying with the idea of going to see that movie, The Martian, bit of sci-fi. But I digress. Still, what I do in the privacy of my own home is entirely my business. Right now. It occurred to me that the arrangement that I've got with these series fans, these screaming fans, these hordes of screaming fans, is that with the fans in series, they are reasonably noisy. Now, I've taken off the airflow measuring gadget, which has reduced the noise a bit. I'm just going to turn it on. But somebody said the other day that's still pretty noisy, Steve. You know, if you're going to be operating with an amplifier on the bench top in front of you, that's the microphone's going to pick that up. And I thought, yeah, it's a very good point actually. So what I'm going to do is, I noticed that when I did the experiment with the two smaller fans, these ones here, that by putting them in series, the noise increased quite considerably. So I'm just going to try firing this up. Now this is reasonably heavy and I've got to lean around the camera, but I'm going to try just lifting that off the bottom fan just to see if it reduces the noise. Now with the fans in series like this, so what I've got under this box here, is two 120mm by 120mm fans. And they're supposedly 138 cubic feet per minute each. Now, with these radial fans, I've never seen one produce anywhere near what they're specified for. They normally produce, from what I've measured, they produce about half what they're specified for. So, one on its own will give about 65. So, you know, it's staying true to the approximately a half. And with the two in series, I got about, you know, somewhere between, I think it was somewhere between 30 and 35% improvement in airflow with the experiment I did with these small fans. And the same's true for the big fans. So with the two of the large fans I've got under this box, I'm getting about a 30%, 35% increase in airflow. So it's pushed it up from 65 cubic feet a minute up to about 80, I think it was up to 81, was it? 82, 83 maybe? I'll have to have a look at the previous video. It's reasonably close to what I'm after, but it occurred to me that if I don't have to run the fans in series like this, they may be quieter and I may get more airflow through the valve. So first of all, I'm going to just lift it off the bottom fan, and then I'll just do a little doodle and show you what I've got in mind. Okay, so apologies for the noise. If you've got a sensitive disposition, time to put your fingers in your ears. Yeah, it's a shame actually. I was going to get a meter to show you what the noise level is. Yeah, now that's dropped a fair bit. I don't know if you can hear the difference there. You can take that into account. Okay, let's just... Well, as I've said before, this is amateur radio. Okay, so now with the two fans, with those two fans there, because I just propped it up on top of that variable capacitor basically so that the airflow through the box wouldn't be impeded, I didn't actually stick the bottom fan with masking tape onto the capacitor. But anyway, you get the picture. So Now, if I don't have to have those fans in series, I think they'll be a good bit quieter. Now, what I've got in mind, let's disconnect that so I can move that onto there, out of the way. Now, what I've got in mind is putting, as you can see, these are the design of these fans. Can you see that? The design of these fans here is very different to the mains powered one. I've got the mains powered one handy. Now, this is the mains powered one. Is this the one? Well, I did say hordes of screaming fans, didn't I? No, I think this is the one. This is the one that so far, well, not including these, produced the most air. Now, if you look at the difference in the blade design on that, you can see that. I don't know why, but this LCD display goes dark after a little while. I haven't figured out how to stop it doing that. Now, if you look at that, and then look at the design of that, see the gap in the blades on this one, and a much closer gap between the blades on the other one. This one here. One of these on its own will give me 65 cubic feet per minute of air through the tube and a radiator. So this design is much better for pushing against a bit of static pressure. So if I can not have two of these in series but have them both blowing into the box, I'll just show you what I've got in mind, because you can see the box here. Now, this box is not square, it's slightly rectangular. This side here is longer than that side there. So what I've got in mind is, if I because the tube's quite heavy, so the tube weighs I think it's nearly 3 kilos. So what I've got in mind is putting one fan there like that, and the other one on the other side, but over there like that. So what will actually happen is that they won't be blowing directly into each other, and of course the tube base itself is pretty deep. It goes down, sort of down to about here inside. So the fans aren't going to be blowing directly at each other, so I should get a sort of swirling effect inside. The bottom will be sealed, of course, at this point, but I'll just show you what I've got in mind on the board. The BORED. If I can find the bloody pen. There we go. Was it someone said to me the other day, I'll show you how to edit these videos if you like, Steve. And I said, well, what for? Yeah, it's YouTube, not Channel 10. My goodness sake, get a grip. Right, now let's move this over here, and I'll see if I can do this without mucking up the focus, because the autofocus on this has been playing up a little bit lately. I don't know whether it's my technique, if that's the right word, or whether it's whether I need to replace the camera. Now, actually, I was going to try the GoPro on the close-up stuff, so I just bought a GoPro. But anyway, I've started with this one. So what was that from? I've started, so I'll finish. Okay, so if you can imagine. Hang on, I just need to make a mark on here so I can see roughly what you're going to be able to see. Come on, focus. Yeah, okay. Alright, so now if I can get down there so there's nothing too close to the camera, I might be able to get away with it. I'll see how it looks anyway. If it's out of focus, I apologise. But if you can imagine looking down on the box, okay, so this is looking down on the air box, and remember the air box is spelt P-E-G-S. Now the tube is, you know, takes up a fair bit of that, and I'm leaning around a bloody tripod leg, so sorry it's a little bit serrated, but it takes up most of this from side to side. There is enough gap underneath. It's slightly wider at the top than it is at the bottom. So what I had in mind was, if that's the rear of the amplifier, and that's the front. Oh, it's handy. I use that as the front. F. So that's the orientation of the box. I would have now those fans take up quite a lot of it, so one would be like that and the other one would be like that, and they'd be blowing in like that. And I thought, well, these sides, because it's a peg box, for reasons that I really don't know, but they seem that the peg box is made with the curved sides like that, so they're not right angles like I've shown there. So if I'd had to fabricate that out of aluminium, they'd have been at 90 degrees, but as it is, they're sort of curved edges. These edges are curved, and it might help the airflow. And I thought, if I could get the airflow circulating, sorry, I'm sort of talking while I'm looking down, and it can sound a bit muffled. This airflow circulating around like this, because these aren't blowing directly at each other, and because this valve base protrudes down quite a way, this air might circulate around and blow up through the valve, and I might actually get my 88 cubic feet a minute. I may even get a little more. So this is what I'm going to try. Now the only problem is, of course, that I've got to cut these huge holes in the side, probably 100 mil, something like that, diameter holes in the side of the box, one here and one there, which means drilling a whole row of holes, knocking it out, filing it round on both sides. So that's why I've been putting that off, as I'm sure you can understand. Okay, well, I hope that remained in focus, and I hope you found that interesting. So that's just a little bit of an update on what's going on with the amplifier. Hopefully I'll get that done sometime this week. Maybe I might have to sort of psych myself up. If I haven't done it by Friday, I'll probably have to psych myself up to do it over the weekend. So I have to put the Martian on the back burner again. Otherwise, I'll just keep putting that off because it's something I'm really not looking forward to. Maybe I'll cut one hole tomorrow, another one the day after. But the alternative, of course, is, see, this is a tin peg box, so it's pretty thin, it's easy to work. The alternative is, if I've got a blow from the bottom, it's cutting a large hole in the sheet steel, which is the bottom of the actual amplifier enclosure. So I'll just have to keep reminding myself of that. Sorry, I don't know if that's gone out of focus, is it? Again, I can't really see this bloody viewfinder. Alright, well, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.